Welcome back to the episode of Unranked Podcast. Coming back to you all after a couple week break. Had a lot that went down from over the weekend, around the holiday weekend, last couple weeks from free agency. We now have a head coach. Kate Cunningham signed on the dotted line, so he's a Piston for the next five years. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of dive into all that, unpack everything that's kind of went on these last few weeks. I'll kick it over to you, E. I think we'll start off with free agency. Tobias Harris, Paul Reed, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., some of the key signings so far. I just want to kind of see your thoughts on those pickups.
Yeah, so I would say overall I like what the direction we're taking. I think it's the needed steps. Um, Obviously, last time we were on, we talked about the draft a little bit, and we were all shocked. We thought we were going to get a guy that was more of a certified shooter, but instead we went with a guy, who's, I hope he's good, but a broke jump shot for lack of a better term. And just to see us do a 180 in free agency, getting sniper after sniper after sniper, I think that's only going to help the team. You watch us last year. If you watched any Pistons games last year, um, they surrounded Cade. They surrounded Ivy. They collapsed the floor. No, like there's several pictures floating around, famous pictures of there's like 8 dudes in the paint between our players and I think it's Philadelphia and Cade. And then there's like, there people were not respecting anything that we had as far as shooting goes. So that and then getting players who have maybe not won championships, but players who have been around winning teams, playoff years after playoff year after playoff year. Tough losses in the playoff, whether you're Tobias Harris, just can't make it over that second round hump, or I guess Beasley would have been them as well. We were kind of, or not Reed, but Reed. So we took a couple players from Philly there, just players that are used to winning, players that have a kind of a good culture, and that as cliche as that sounds, something we need.
For sure.
Worst record in the league, I think 3 of the last 5 seasons. Damn near set the record for most losses last year. So I'm ecstatic about this. And one thing I will say is I sent it to you on Twitter, but just to rattle this off, we between Malik Beaslly, Tim Hardaway, and Tobias Harris, we are averaging over 500 made threes, and from last year. If they just project what they did do this year what they did last year, our team is up 500 more made threes for a team that only hit 930 last year. So you think about that in there, that's where the league is. We have a perfect team if we were playing in 04 again, but that's not how it is. You got to have those difference makers. That's where you watch an NBA game, leads disappear like that, and 20-point leads are gained like that.
Yeah.
Team gets hot, you hit a couple of threes, they do some dumb shots, get a turnover, you're up 9-12 points at the end of a quarter, at the end of the half, like that. And that's where we were missing. You would watch the Pistons and we'd be up 20 points mid fourth. I'm sitting back on the couch, we got this. And then next thing I know, we lose by 6. We're down big, come all the way back, and then we just don't have that difference maker to be able to. We're still trading 2 for 3s, and we did. So I think all that being said, not to take up too much time, it's going to help Cade, and his assists will go up, and I imagine his scoring will go up.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have that much of an impact with just getting players around him.
Yeah.
And so it's just something I'm looking forward to seeing, man. I feel pretty good about this roster. Now we ain't. I'm not expecting a championship banner, but I think we're not a bottom feeder. And due to these free agent signings we did.
Sure. Yeah. I think one thing too, all these guys, availability. I think they all played like 65 plus games last year. I think, yeah, there's a couple different ways this could affect us in our team in a positive way. You got a guy Tobias Harris. I forgot who I was watching a little clip on YouTube about him where they're just saying like, the narrative around him is just, not playing well in the playoffs, but like true professional. I mean, I guess he does a lot of stuff in the community. This is it, like they literally said, whoever it was, I forgot, but they literally said like, this is the kind of guy you want on your team, especially like in a locker room with like a lot of young guys.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So like, and I think some of these additions, like, and I don't know if it sounds weird to say, but like the team last year, like a lot of these rookies, they played too much. Like, so now it's like, all right, we got all these veterans. We got Tobias Harris, fresh off of being in the playoffs last 3, 4 seasons. Paul Reed right there with him. Malik Beasley played for a couple playoff teams. Tim Hardaway Jr. just, came off of a finals loss. Like, now these guys, some of these rookies, these younger players, gotta like kind of earn some of this playing time. And I think this is gonna make it better environment from a competition standpoint. Guys are going to be getting better just by playing against real NBA vets. It's going to help from like a spacing standpoint. Like you watch teams like the Celtics, they got all these guys pretty much standing around the 3-point line. They do that. Dallas is doing a lot of that. A lot of teams like the three ball just it opens things up so much. So like it's crazy that Cade was able to, 8, 9 assists a game off of a team that was shooting like 26% from three. So like you imagine these guys shoot anything like they did last year. I mean, 3, 4, 5 threes a game. I'm between you and I'm sure we watched 10 to 15 games this year where we lost off a game winner that we, if these guys can shoot like the way they did with their teams last year, we can maybe still an additional 10 to 15 wins alone just off of that. So yeah, just excited. Like you said, I don't, not expecting like playing anything like that. I mean, we're not even really done with free agency yet either. So that's also something to be optimistic about. But great pickups for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm just to throw a little more concrete to what I said before. So last year we made 906 threes off basically 2,600. Tobias Harris hit 258, Tim Hardaway hit 211, and Malik Beasley hit 224. That's 693 threes.
They letting that thing go. That's that. You love that.
That's 2/3 of all the made threes from the team last year. And of that, Cade hit 130 something up.
I
So
think Ivy had like 150 or something like that,
yep,
maybe.
yeah, just
Yeah.
slightly more on a worse percentage. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So that's all of our threes. I mean, that's literally
Mhm.
so. Um, I think that's just going to make a big difference. With the firing power of the whole squad, floor spacing, like you just said, you
Yeah.
brought up. Um, all of their players can shoot. They got five. Probably what? Really eight guys that can hit a three at any point in time.
Yeah. See, like
So
Fontecchio.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Fontecchio would definitely probably be our next up. You got even Stu can start to hit some a little bit. I don't want to see Duran out there jacking up threes, but that's kind
Right.
of you got to have some bruisers, some rebounders. So I kind of like the formation of what we got going on. And
Hmm.
I was bringing up playoff thing. I like good name brought up, but Tim Hardaway. I mean, we obviously know Tim Hardaway since he's been damn near 18
Oh,
years old.
yeah.
Michigan. So I love to see him, come back up here to Michigan. But in general, good defender, can hit threes. I don't know why they didn't have him out there more often in the finals, but
Yeah.
uh, uh, like you said, they're all reliable. And he just came off the finals run, so I think that's we got to have some people around here that's they're just not going to go on a 28 game losing streak. Like like just some things that aren't going to happen when you have some guys who've been on some 50-win teams, been on some championship caliber type squads. I don't care if it's us three playing tonight. We ain't losing this game because we're at we're not hitting 28 again. So I
Right.
kind of think that's the mentality you got to have. And I think we got some fighters, some dogs. They
Hmm.
kind of and and we didn't make too big of a splash. We didn't overpay
Yeah.
anybody. These are solid contracts. Tobias Harris being the biggest, and I'm not even mad about that. 2 years, I think 52 million. I
I'm
mean,
talking
that's
about those
everyone,
overpaying.
everybody. I mean, that pretty
Yeah.
soon, I think the NBA minimum is going to be 10 million. That's how it's looking. Like it's kind of they're
Yeah.
uh they're bringing in so much money. So I think these are all solid contracts. We got Cade locked up. Obviously that's not a free agent signing, but I think we turn the page as far as the franchise goes. Clean the front office, bringing in good, solid players. Um, I'm looking for. Head coach. I think we got some things in place here, man. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's a night and day difference. I mean, you just start to think and look back at some of the other moves that we made when Troy Weaver was here. Like, I'm pretty sure his first 3, 4 trades is just like taking on contracts, buying them out, letting guys walk.
Yep.
You know, first move we make is somebody that is going to be Tim Hardaway Jr. Probably could legit be a starter. Like just kind of depending how things shake out in camp. So like a fringe starter to a guy that like you said should have played more in the finals. Game he played, he had 5 threes. Like we got that type of firepower where guys can explode for like that's what we just didn't see. But that happened all around the league. Guys exploding for 6, 7 threes a game. Just kind of like randomly. It's just gonna open up a lot more things and yeah, just looking forward to it. But yeah, we can kind of shift here to JV Bickerstaff, new coach. Was able to watch a little bit of his press conference today. Sounds like I was kind of telling you before we hopped on, he was kind of working, not even being paid. He essentially was about to go on a vacation with his family, jumped in the car, went to go meet with the Pistons in Detroit instead. That went well, agreed to terms. He shot out to San Diego to sit down with Tobias Harris and make sure that deal got done. Um, Solid coach. He's had a gradual incline just from his past, few seasons with the Cavs. I think we both talked about how we don't really understand how he even got fired in the first place, but um, I think it's a great signing. But yeah, I just want to kind of kick it over to you and just kind of see your initial thoughts on the new coach.
Yeah, so I think it was one of the things where he wasn't on my radar necessarily at all. Like not a guy
Yeah,
I had thought about, but as soon as I seen that come across my timeline, this is a no brainer. You know, um, a relatively younger coach, still is looking to make his real footing. Obviously, he's had some solid teams in Cleveland, but
yeah,
overall, I mean, I like what he did in Cleveland. Go back to the Cade draft. Cade, I think we got Cade one, or I know we got Cade one. I think they got um, Evan Mobley probably 3 or 4 of that draft. So they were bad just like us. And they've been playoff bound ever since. We've been hanging around that first pick ever since. So obviously he wasn't there that whole time, but just the idea of young talent hanging, able to develop them, able to maximize most of that. That's the little bit of the interview I heard about him since he's accepted a job is that they just continue to talk about player development. You
yeah,
talk about not, and I guess I misspoke already. Not just player development. What he said was developing players so that their development helps result in wins. And what are you doing to improve to help the squad? And that's type of even in the little clip I did here, that stood out to me. Like you said, night and day from what we were hearing before. And I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm cool with it for. I'm not just cool with it. I like it for several reasons, but interdivision, he's obviously going to be a little hungry. You're hungry if you decide to cancel your vacation, go up to Detroit, work on an ad hoc basis as the contract's getting negotiated because you just got faith. You just down, you got faith it's going to get done. And you know, most people would say, hey, let me, I'm interested, but let me, I'm about to go to Key West. Like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. But just to go ahead and jump on that means that does mean something. And then I heard a funny joke that said the last time we hired a Cleveland coach after got hired, it was Chuck Daly.
yeah.
The last time we hired a Cleveland coach after they got hired, it was Chuck Daly.
Oh, Chuck Daly, yeah. I
So
heard that. Yeah, I remember that. That never know, man. Time be repeating itself. Yeah, yeah, I mean, the more I look at just kind of like the record, I pulled up Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. I believe Darius Garland's first year with Bickerstaff was kind of trying to match up the years and the timeline. If it's 2021, it looks like Darius Garland might have been most improved player, if I'm not mistaken. Um, or he was actually in the running for most improved player.
okay, yeah.
And then that following year, he was an all-star. So I mean, I think that alone, I'm looking at, his stats, he averaged like, 21 and 8. Donovan Mitchell, 26, 25 a game. I'm kind of looking at just how the guards kind of played, I guess, for Cleveland, like under Bickerstaff. And, we got some pretty elite guards. We got number 1 overall pick. To where I think you've seen some of these guys have pretty solid success under him. I'm hoping that he can help develop Cade and Jaden, Jaden Ivey to kind of start to have some similar success to where, all-star, that would be amazing if Cade was able to pull something like that off like next year or the year after. That's kind of tough to do just with, kind of having to have that success associated with it. But just getting these guys to get to that next level, just from like a development standpoint, I think it's going to be something really good that we've needed. Because I think Coach last year kind of just felt like he was just kind of falling asleep at the wheel, just kind of letting things unwind or just unfold as they were.
Jesus,
So
take the wheel.
yeah, literally
Yeah.
just let things
No,
kind of go. So
I agree, and I'm blanking on his name, but we hired a shooting coach.
oh, Fred Vinson,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's supposed to be top of the line, probably the best in the league, if not one of the best in the league. So, that's only going to help everybody. Cade got a solid 3-point, but if he can add 2 or 3% to it, that ain't going to hurt nothing. Same with
right,
Ivy. Same with all, so all of them players getting in the lab, and that's probably not going to happen overnight. But I do think a player like Cade, he has a good stroke. It's just maybe he does need to do a thing or two different to really make a difference.
mm-hmm.
Then maybe somebody like Asar Thompson, forget everything you ever learned about shooting a jumper. We're going to start at day one. So I
Yeah,
think, every player has their different game sliders already where they are. But just to have the right coaches in place to go there and maximize whatever bucket needs to get filled the most. And I think that's kind of what we were missing out on. And just some hungry people around here. I know Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway and all them. If you just were literally thinking you're about to win a championship or fighting for your life to get to a championship, you're not going to want to be on some bottom feeder team.
right,
And I would hope and think Cade and Ivy are tired of it as well. So just kind of turning that whole page with a new leader. I think it's looking up. I really do feel solid about it. Like I think it's looking
yeah,
up. Um, and the kind of the summer league around the corner. You know, it's so weird how it's all stacking out. Like I don't think we played once, but the Lakers already played a couple of times, and this and that. There's
it's
different
like some
cities, different
kind of
circuits.
classic, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, I was like trying to find the roster online now. I think I still haven't been able to find it, but yeah, no, obviously gonna know for sure. Ron Holland's gonna be there. I saw Marcus Sasser's gonna be there. Um, Bobby Clintman, um, he's gonna be there. Something kind of cool about Clintman too. I saw that. I guess he's like the second player drafted from Sweden. The other one was Jonas Jerebko, who played for the Pistons, and I kind of saw them working
see
out
them working
together.
out. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sweet.
and I'm just touch on Clintman real quick because we didn't really get to just with the
Segment.
draft.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's just like the prototypical like kind of player that we just need like more of. Like
yeah,
on the floor, shoot the three. He's like 6'10", a little bit of rim protection thrown in there. But yeah, overall, I was looking forward to seeing what he gonna do. And just there's also another guy that I'm blanking on his name. I think his name is like Ennis Jenkins. He played for like St. John's, just like a really, really solid point guard that they signed like a two-way contract.
okay,
Um, yeah, I'm obviously we're looking forward to seeing what Ron can do. He's played against G League talent, good majority of last year. They say Clintman's kind of like a project, probably be more of like a two-way G League guy to kind of start things off, but hoping they get some good run. I did also hear that Sarr probably not playing just because of like blood clot issue he had last year, but he has been fully cleared for
yeah. That's what I was
basketball.
gonna say. I heard he's fully cleared. So this
Yeah.
could be a dumb question, but would you say G League? Which harder, G League or Summer League?
I think it's a toss up because like you can have
I was just
guys.
wondering like how that because Ron Holland was putting up 19 a game. If he put up 19 a game, or something like I'm gonna be hyped.
Yeah, it could be
So yeah,
a toss up because like
yeah,
Kevin Knox, we've seen he's played for the Pistons twice in the last like 3 years. He got drafted like 2018. So some of these guys, they're gonna. I feel like you at least like naturally better than some of the rookies coming in. And I think that's kind of like they're either on a summer league team or some of these guys might have been on some of these G League teams.
right.
Throughout the season,
What they say? The NBA is 400 players. It's
something like that,
it
like 350,
it's so
400.
hard. Like it's so hard. So like if you in a G League, you like 401 to like 500. Like
Right.
you just out of it. It's crazy. Like not say he can't do it, but I was just looking up Amani Bates G League stat. He put up 22 a game in the G League. It's like
Damn.
you can't give 10 a game in the NBA. It's kind of like it's just
Yeah,
wild.
that's crazy. Think, yeah. I
400,
mean,
yeah. The difference between like 450 and 350 is night and day. Like it's a
right.
steep incline as you continue to go up. So
Found a little
something
roster.
it's okay, good deal.
But yeah, like yeah, that is it's gonna be real. Yeah, like you said, you hit it right on the head. You're curious to see how that kind of translates. Trying to see if there's anybody out here who might have remembered from like college. But yeah, the guy Dennis Jenkins from St. John's. They got like a guy that played for like Motor City Cruise last year, Devon Higgs. Another guy that played for like a G League team. Long Island. That probably might have been like the Nets or like the Nets or like the Knicks. Um, yeah, so it's
We got
it's
Buddy
all right.
Bayham come back.
So what?
Yeah, Buddy Bayheim back on the team.
Oh no, I thought he's playing for OK. I think I saw him play for OKC the other night.
Oh yeah, no, see,
He
we
got
can we don't need no more favors. Let's bring some people in that might could do it.
right for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. If we in Sasser, he might mess around and explode for 25 just because he played like 60, 65 games last year. But yeah, it would have been obviously you
That's
need
a player we
something.
didn't even talk about. Also can shoot. Also
Yeah, because he
in
had a couple
spurt. Yeah,
games.
it's some games. I can think of the one.
Man,
I can think of the one we dropped the short. He had my man dancing and hit the three.
right? Yeah,
Bro, so some firing
yeah.
power. A little second unit with him, uh, Ivy. You know, Van Checchio or something like That's a nice.
At least two, three shooters on the court every time
Yep.
at a time. I mean that's the prototypical NBA. Some teams, Celtics got five 3-point shooters on the team on the court at all time. That's pretty much the goal at this point. Um, yeah, no team looks good. I think yeah, I mean it's just a 9-day difference, and to think that we was on here a couple years ago like celebrating all of these like all the picks, and not to I ain't gonna dog out Troy Weaver, but it's just kind of crazy to watch the difference in like how
Hey,
Trajan operate, and it's like condensed time. My man, he didn't really get the title until the Monday or the Tuesday after Memorial Day. So
yeah,
he up
I'm,
there,
and I'll still say it. I'm very optimistic, but I'm
yeah,
not. He ain't. We
right,
ain't got no wins in the column yet. But
right. It's just
no,
crazy seeing,
it is. It does. Now that I'm picking through it with more of a fine tooth comb, it was like, what the hell are we doing?
yeah,
Um, and these all seem to make sense. Picking up. I mean, even players we picked up last year. I'm not gonna hate on Monte Morris. That's a good NBA player.
right,
That just why didn't that work?
yeah,
Like I couldn't tell you why. But
oh for sure.
just looking, Marcus Sasser played in 71 games, shot 37% from three, hit 90 of them.
Yeah,
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's I'm excited for like I said, we're optimistic. There's a temperament, we're not nobody's going to play in anytime soon, but
Killian
I'm
Hayes,
excited
22
for
points.
excited
Yeah, bro. No, I feel you
for
though.
Cade to not be double teamed
The
every
same
time he's
amount of threes as Isaiah Livers, who only played in 6 games.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
But no, bro, let's forget about the sad past. It's
No, for sure.
the Joe Harrises and people like that. Like we were taking any bad like how can you make your team better? Let us know. We'll take it off your hands.
It was like
That's
two, three
how we
years
were.
past their like prime. Like we got guys that are like right in the middle of it. I'm just like and Cade and then Ivy, like we talked about earlier too, kind of jumping around now, but making sure Cade and Ivy in the court at the same time, like the spacing gonna help out both of them so much. Because Ivy kind of get to the cup and just he can drive and kick, drive and finish, get the mid range going a little bit. And Cade, I can't wait to see he gonna be able to do just with having a lot more one-on-one matchups and being
Right.
able to capitalize. He was still giving people 40 here and there and with no shooting around him at all. So
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to him taking that next step. Like I forget his exact stats, but like 22, 7 and 6 or something. I'm thinking, it's I guess what position is he's be listed as a point guard. So I mean
yeah,
it'd be hard to crack into that all-star rotation in the
Yeah,
East that that even if you are that type of player, you got Damian Lillard, you got Trey Young, you got some players around, yeah,
yeah,
Maxi,
LaMelo.
So I think that's going to be an uphill battle, even if he does do his thing. But I'm looking for him to take that next. I really do expect him to increase points and assists just due to the spacing. So
But
get that
like,
up to let's say 25, 25 and 9 a game, 25, 9 and 6. Like I,
yeah,
that's
or
something to
even
really.
like, yeah, even getting that like, 'cause I think this even be a win. Getting that like most improved player mix. You
Yep.
know, he add 3, 4 more points. 3, 4 more assists to it, and they win.
Yeah,
You know,
and 65 games plus.
yeah,
Like stay healthy another year. Let's like he puts another one of the years under him. We can forget about that. And we still kind of like it's like
right. Oh, for
so you
sure.
go ahead and get another just another round of that. But yeah, no, I'm
And even that, like the wear and tear, like, you can start blowing out a couple more teams. Like, I think, and like I said, we're not getting ahead of ourselves, but like, my man's is out there kind of having to kill himself just to, trying to drag the team to a win, not, knocking nobody else on the team, but like, we know that's the guy that kind of makes everything go. So you hope that like, this is just, I mean, the list is so long of all the ways it's going to just impact like all these young guns we got on the team, and I think it's just going to be like it's a great blend. Like the Rockets, they did it a great way as well. Like, you maybe overpay a solid veteran that's seen a lot in the playoffs, get a couple little key pieces, maybe ship off a young cat or two, just to like help the team grow up a little bit and just play some real like NBA basketball.
right. Yeah, not be the last. Like I agree, bro. I'm looking forward to it. Now it's we in that weird spot where I mean not to get off topic completely, but watch these summer leagues, but football's around the corner.
Yeah.
And so obviously we're gonna hop back on here, start hitting you with the football heavy. Um,
Hmm.
so no, I'm just looking forward to it. We probably won't be covering no Olympic shit, but that'd be fun to watch. So we in a weird spot
Yeah.
here. You know,
Track, yeah, track, basketball would be good competition Olympics for sure. But yeah, football season right on the corner.
yeah,
So
no,
got a little bit here in the meantime to keep us busy. Be back with y'all in case the news drop next week. Summer League, all the execs get together, start chatting.
deals
So
get made. Yeah,
yeah, Trajan might be cooking up something as we speak. So be back with
no,
y'all here soon.
yes sir. Peace.